Coming in from the state of Maharashtra in an ongoing case of extortion. There has been a big development. I'm getting our viewers up to speed with the latest development coming in. And this development that the Supreme Court has directed all cases pertaining to the Param Deshmukh dispute to be transferred to the CBI. Supreme Court bench headed by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul saying CBI must hold an impartial probe in the case, and that the exigencies in the advancement of principles of natural justice require the probe to be transferred to the CBI. The court adding, we're not saying that anyone involved here is washed with milk. We're also not saying that someone is a whistleblower. So that's the big breaking news update. The court making some strong observations while transferring the case to the CBI. Let me go across to Ananya joining us with the details. Ananya, looking at the observations that the court has made while transferring the case to the CBI, certainly not taking at face value what Param Singh is saying.
Well, yes, Niranjan correctly mentioned that the Supreme Court bench headed by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul has now transferred all the cases pertaining to the battle between Anil Deshmukh and Param Singh to the Central Bureau of Investigation. The Maharashtra government was continuously opposing to the same, but at the end of it, the court was in the favor of transferring these cases to the Central Bureau of Investigation for an impartial probe. In fact, it is also called this battle between Parambir and Anil Deshmukh as a royal rumble. In fact, clearly stating that the murkier proceedings, the proceedings that emerged out of the murky battle royal between Deshmukh and Param Singh. In fact, it's also stated that, because remember, Niranjan, that repeatedly Param has been saying that he was
Ananya,
a whistleblower.
Ananya, are you there? Ananya, stay with me. Let me go across to Rhythm. Rhythm, looking at the observations of what the court has said while transferring the case to the CBI, the last line is something that I think I'd like to highlight, and I want you to come in on. The court has said we are not saying anyone involved here is washed with milk. We're also not saying that someone here is a whistleblower, certainly indicating that they're not willing to take the allegations of Param Singh at face value. Rhythm.
Yes, we also need to remember that now these matters are going to be probed by the CBI, the disgraced police officer who at one time had tried to say he's a whistleblower is not something the Supreme Court is looking at right now. But for now, all the cases that are being looked at pertaining to Parambir and Deshmukh dispute will be transferred to the CBI. During the hearing, it's also important to remember what the Maharashtra government, Dara S. Khambata, senior advocate, had stated, where he said that we don't believe he is he's a whistleblower. They also said Maharashtra government is not in favor of CBI. They said it would be demoralizing for the police force to have it. While dictating the order, the bench also said the murky churning from the battle royale between Anil Deshmukh, the then Home Minister, and the police commissioner has given rise to these proceedings. We have to note that the allegations made by the appellant against Deshmukh about a meeting at his residence Vaze was in presence of his police station. They've also recorded everything that has been said, and one very important thing that the court has said is the picture emerging is necessarily disturbing. I believe that the court is also very aware of what's been happening in the case when it comes to the fact that there was this trinity that was looking and probing into matters. When we see what the ED has been told in the statement, Niranjan, by Sachin Vaze, that Deshmukh was giving him orders on the TRP case, and then Paramveer Singh has reiterated the same, that Deshmukh was indeed giving orders to Vaze in the TRP case and other such cases. The picture becomes murky, like the Supreme Court has said, and for now, as the matter goes to CBI, the larger point is the court has said we don't believe Paramveer is a whistleblower. We're not going to comment on it. But while we issue notice, we have sketched out the contours of a controversy that we require to examine. Obviously, the man went absconding at one time, which the Maharashtra government once again brought to the forefront of the top court. But for now, it's the central agency that will be probing all matters of Paramveer.
One response from Swapnil Kothari also joining us on the phone line. Swapnil, as the case is handed over to the CBI, your views on the developments so far, and as Rhythm was saying, certainly the observations of the court while transferring the case to the CBI is significant, saying that we're not saying that anybody involved here is washed with milk, and we're also not saying that someone is a whistleblower. Swapnil.
Well, Niranjan, it's very clear that the bench is making it very, very apparent that they have no faith in the investigating agency of the state of Maharashtra. It's a very tacit sort of a suggestion, simply because there seemed to be some sort of an internecine warfare between the two warring parties. And especially with, Mr. Deshmukh in jail, Mr. Param being investigated, cross allegations made against each other, and all of those things, and the surrounding circumstances and the surround sound that, pervades this entire controversy. You can take any controversy, whether it's Republic TRP case, whether it is, Mr. Deshmukh's extortion case, whether it is the Antilia case. So all of those things surrounding each other, it's better that an independent, neutral agency takes it over, so that apart from any possible aspersions being cast on an agency having some sort of an inherent bias, is removed. And the second aspect is that if they want to extend, since these are national controversies, they can have national repercussions, then the state will have to keep on asking permissions of state agencies, which is the Mumbai police. So it's rather that a national agency like the CBI can do it, which does not have to ask any permissions at all. They can always call up anybody across the nation and invoke anybody to investigate this case further into any details that they may feel are necessary. So this observation by the Supreme Court is very, very pertinent, and this is exactly the way it has to be, so that when the matter goes to the court tomorrow, when charge sheets are filed, when it goes to the court, when it goes for trial, at that point in time, any party on either side cannot raise. More so, it will be Mr. Singh who will raise the aspect of bias, saying that, look, there is an inherent bias. I went against the Maharashtra government because I got his home minister into trouble. So that is the reason why this is some sort of a reprisal against me. And all these multiple FIRs against me are absolutely fake and concocted. So this would be his first primary defense. So the court is trying to ensure that those kind of defenses are not there. And it's better that an investigating agency like the Central Bureau of Investigation looks at it. And let us see what the Central Bureau of Investigation comes out with. And I hope that it comes out with something, because the NIA did not come out with what we thought was what it should have come out with. But let's hope that the Central Bureau of Investigation does its job. And obviously, when the Supreme Court has ordered it, it will have to do its job. Otherwise, it will be answerable to the Supreme Court at some point. Because obviously, the people who are interested in ensuring that justice is done, or Mr. Parambir Singh faces the law, will ensure that, look, now, this has gone to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has ordered it. And now the CBI is dilly-dallying on it for whatever reasons. So please direct the CBI again to ensure that it comes out with any closure of the report one way or the other, and it's not kept in limbo. So I'm very happy that this decision has been taken, or rather this order has been given by the Supreme Court.